I believe that Jalen Brunson is underrated, or in some ways overlooked by the NBA community simply because of the team that he plays for. Since joining the Knicks in the 22 offseason, Jalen Brunson statistically has been one of the best players and one of the best point guards in the NBA who has continuously gotten better. But he hasn't been one of the best point guards. He hasn't just changed the Knicks for the regular season and turning them from a fringe playoff team into a certified contender, but he has also been one of the best playoff performers in the NBA that we've ever seen. As a Knick, Jalen Brunson averages 29.4 points per game in the playoffs in 52 games. And for reference, that would put him fourth all-time in NBA playoff history behind guys like Michael Jordan, Luka Doncic, and Allen Iverson. And throughout the playoffs, we've seen Jalen Brunson do things such as playoff games of 35 points, 10 assists. He's number 5 all time. Second player since Michael Jordan with 285 points and 65 assists in the first 8 games of a postseason, something that still hasn't been done other than those 2 players. And during the 2024 postseason, Jalen Brunson joined LeBron James as the first player since him in 2018 to have 5 40-point playoff games in a single postseason run. So point being is that I could sit here all day and talk about Jalen Brunson and who he is and what he's done, but I think it's more important to acknowledge what he's able to do with what he has. One of the most impressive things about Jalen Brunson is not just his ability to score at a high volume and a high usage, but his ability to score at different levels. He is one of the best shot creators that we've seen in the NBA within the last few years, but also one of the most impressive scorers to do it at such a small size at 6'1". And in Thanks to Basketball University, the graphic above shows the top 10 players, leaders in isolation possessions in the playoffs, players who've led with the most and have scored most efficient to least efficient. And as you can see, Jalen Brunson right now is 7th with 38 ISO possessions in the playoffs with a 1.16 points per possession of ISO. And in simple terms, this just means that Jalen Brunson is exceptional in the ISO and that he's been doing this now for the past 4 years and he's been one of the best in the NBA, and not just at his size, but overall. But even after all of that, we still have people online, critics, media personalities, anyone of that nature trying to say stuff like this about Jalen Brunson.
Is that Jalen Brunson can't be your best player. Remember when Becky Hammon said that? She said small guys outside of Steve Nash don't win titles. She said, Steve Nash, she listed a bunch of different players. And she said, yeah, they don't win titles. She said, but there's Steph Curry's the exception, but he's the greatest shooter in the history of the planet. And that's the truth with Jalen Brunson.
And in some ways, they're right. You can't really win a title if your player is small because it's too difficult to win with and you kind of at a disadvantage. But this is Jalen Brunson, and he has proven time and time again that he can be that guy, and that he has proven that he can show up at the biggest stage in the playoffs and in big games if you need him. He's been an all-star. He's been an all-NBA player. If Jalen Brunson wins a championship with the Knicks, assuming he wins Finals MVP, he will forever put the narrative to rest that you cannot win a championship with your best player being undersized, because I believe he can.